Hello and welcome to Blue Rising. Today we are coming to you from our new permanent home inside the pod here at Epic, right in the thick of it all.
Absolutely. It was fun doing our own tour of St Andrews at Knighthead Park. A grand tour it was, but it's about time we found a permanent home here at Epic. The home of training, fitness, recovery and a whole load of hard graft. This is where it starts.
It does indeed. I assume you're including us
Absolutely.
in all of that.
Especially the hard graft.
It has been a busy few weeks and we have a packed show ahead with some familiar faces, international headlines and a very special guest who is practically, get rid of practically actually, he is
Definitely.
Blues royalty. Well, big congratulations to Amy Merricks, who has been named the WSL2 Manager of the Month after leading the team in an incredible start to the campaign. 4 wins, 1 draw and 17, yep, you heard us right, 17 goals.
Meanwhile, hats off to Chairman Tom Wagner, who made headlines of his own after sporting the latest from our club merch range at Wrexham.
And Birmingham City's Women's Technical Director Hope Powell was part of a trailblazing Lionesses team who were named in the Women of the Year 2025 in recognition of their transformative impact on women's football and their enduring contribution to gender equality in sport.
Magic. And on international duty, Lyndon Dykes can't stop scoring. Another goal off the bench as Scotland continue their push toward the World Cup.
Paek Sung-ho, Damari Gray and Lewis Kumas were also amongst those players called up by their national teams too.
Will is on his own international duty in Birmingham, Alabama this week, which must be very nice. Very different sort of away day as well. So we promised we'd have some very special guests and they don't get much bigger than the main man himself. Please welcome Tommy Mooney!
And if that wasn't enough, we're also joined by another Blues legend who over 9 years at the club made more than 350 appearances, scored over 60 goals and is one of the most respected pros in the game. Lukas Jutkiewicz, thank you so much for joining us in the pod.
Thank you.
Jukey, it's great to have you here. Genuine privilege. Welcome to Blue Rising. Let's get things started with your career at the moment because I can see you kitted out in the wonderful Birmingham training kit. Tell us about your role now that you've retired.
Yeah, different colour kit now. Unfortunately, it's this staff and not a player kit these days. So yeah, I'm in the recruitment team now. So yeah, identifying potential targets for our first team. Predominantly working with the attacking areas, so the wide players, the central striker. Yeah, but it was very much a team environment in there, so you kind of get split into attacking unit, midfield and defence, and then but then kind of all come together to talk football, and yeah, and it's sort of a collaborative approach.
What came about at the end of your career that made you think now's the time to make this right transition?
I think a lot of it is to do with the way that the football club is going, the direction that they're travelling in, the ambitious investment that the owners are putting into this club, and I think that was a huge part of it really, because I felt like I could continue playing for another year or two certainly. I still enjoyed playing, I still enjoyed the process of going in to train and to try and be competitive. I hadn't lost that at all, so I think it was mainly just a case of wanting to be involved in the club really. I think yeah, I could have gone elsewhere, but to leave this football club with the direction that it's going, you know, I didn't want to miss out on that opportunity.
Without giving too much away, of course, to all of our enemies that may be watching and spying, what are the sort of things that you might look out for in a potential attacking player?
Well, I think, of course, as attacking players, you want to be a goal threat, don't you? I think you want to be able to create goals, score goals, of course. There's so much physicality in the game this day and age, so the ability to eliminate players in 1v1 situations, and yeah, it's also about trying to identify players that fit within the club's philosophy. Obviously, there's a commercial aspect as to whether, you know, players are such high commodities now. So, you know, can you buy a player that's going to grow in as an asset value as well as what they can perform on the pitch? So, yeah, a number of things that have to come into the equation, and of course, then as before, you're even thinking about whether, you know, the numbers add up and things like that. So, there's so many little different things that have to come through in order to get a player over the line and through the doors.
In this sort of day and age, how much are you looking for those sort of additional attributes when you're going out scouting, either that there is mental resilience there or that they're contributing to society?
Yeah, I think the mental resilience, yeah, it's a really, really important part of being a centre forward, because by nature, if you're making the right runs time after time, you're going to get chances, and you're not going to score every single chance. So you are going to miss chances. How can you bounce back from that?
How would you measure? Sorry to interrupt. How would you measure like mental resilience?
Well, that's what's difficult when you're watching a game. Yeah, I guess if you're watching live at times, you could see body language. You can see, are they willing to consistently keep getting in there? What do they do next after they miss a chance? Are they still brave enough to show for the ball, or do they go hiding for a little bit? So all of these things, but it is very difficult to tell, what's going on between the ears. So that's where a little bit of background information can have, like if you know anyone at the club, do a little bit of research from that point of view as well.
Tommy, let's bring you in. You look a little bit left out over there. What would have been like for you, do you think, if you got to play alongside Jukey? Like target man, 6'2", great in the air. You a little bit more getting in and around the penalty box. Would you have enjoyed that partnership?
We'd have bashed a few centre
Oh yeah,
centre
we've been
halves
a
about,
handful.
wouldn't we?
Yeah, no one plays two strikers anymore.
No, that's right. Yeah. No, it would have been nice for me because I was always the one who went for the first ball.
Right.
So if Jukey and I were bashing a few about, then I could have gone and got the bits, and I might have got a few more goals. Who knows?
I think you did okay. I think you had plenty, but I'm pretty sure we played against each other when you were coming towards the end at Wycombe. Is that right? Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So we did share the pitch.
Obviously, I'm a long time retired. It's nice waking up without the aches and pains, though, isn't it?
Exactly that. Yeah, that's it. And the weight that comes with it. I'm sure you were the same. I felt that I took the responsibility of the job. It weighed quite heavily on my shoulders at times. Specifically, at Birmingham when things were a struggle, I felt like that I needed to produce it. Otherwise, we potentially at times would have got relegated, and it felt like a big weight on my shoulders. And it was something I took seriously, and something I took home with me. So to sort of go and be able to take that off your plate a little bit has been a massive weight off, really. I don't know if you felt the same when you were playing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I played till I was 38, so I felt like I was really lucky, and it was the right time to stop playing. I really struggled to watch football when I stopped playing. Really? I really did. For probably a year, I didn't watch a live game. Wow. I thought, right, that's it. I'm going to be a golfer now. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. Low handicap, but still nowhere near good enough to make any money out of it anyway. But the recruitment side of it, I needed. So I came back, got into work, started coaching, went into recruitment, and now media. So I think it's so important that we've got something to do when we finish playing. It's lovely to look back and talk about it, but it's also nice to talk about what we're doing now.
Yeah, absolutely. And what was interesting when you were saying about not being able to watch a game of football for a year afterwards, I kind of have gone the other way, weirdly. I've actually started to really enjoy watching games even more than a lot of the time I would give everything I have on a day-to-day basis in training, but then when I would go home, it would shut the door. I didn't really want to think about football. I didn't want to talk about football. I just wanted my family there, and I wanted to enjoy that. Whereas now I actually go home and I think I really want to watch that game, and I really want to take it in. I want to learn something about that. So I've actually enjoyed football from a kind of a different aspect now.
Knowing the recruitment role, though, you've got to watch a lot of football as
well.
Well,
that's part and parcel of it. Yeah,
it's still a busy job.
Absolutely.
You talk about knowing where you're going to be, but there's still miles in the car and games to view. So it's all an interesting aspect of the game, isn't it?
But it's nice to watch a game and not relate that to the pressure of having to perform yourself. You can be a bit more critical.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So from one legend to a few in the making, the women's team are absolutely flying right now. Second in the table, scoring goals for fun. Manager Amy Merricks as well, officially named Manager of the Month in the WSL2 for September.
They've been imperious. Top goal scorers in the league from multiple sources as well, and a plus 10 goal difference already, as well as their first clean sheet of the season at the weekend.
Yeah, what a performance it was. 4-0 away at Ipswich. Easily the performance of the season right across the pitch. Let's take a look at how it all went down.
Crossway. It's behind Cornet. Here's Hart, who will go for goal. Wonderful save from Negri. Fantastic effort from the French winger. Let fly. Sliced in towards the middle. Brings kindly for Ipswich. You clear. G. Quinn. Whips it in first time. And there's the opener. Wonderful header. And it's Cornet with it. Just guided it into the bottom corner. They've been knocking on the door, Birmingham City, and they've got their breakthrough. McKenna. It's past one, goes past another. Beautiful work Oh, just skittles out. Maybe in crossweight. In the end, it was. She even deceived me with that footwork. Wonderful play. Oh, she goes past Hughes quite easily. Does she keep it in? And she's able to tap it home towards her. Wonderful work from Lee Crossway. You saw moments ago that dazzling run. And she's provided an assist here. 2-0. Negri, it drops towards Louis. And there's number 3. Louis gets her 3rd goal of the season and gets Birmingham City's 3rd of the afternoon. G. Harrison Murray on towards Holloway. Back to G. She couldn't break away from a few players around her. Corner. To McKenna. Nice little turn. Crossway battling. It does fall to G in the middle again. Crossway goes for it. Just off target. Good clearance from the Ipswich defender. Will be throwing here. Sorry. Gets it back from Holloway. Hole goes past 2. Got options in the middle. Plenty. And finds one. And it's Harris that makes it 4 in added time. Martha Harris from the back. Sweeping home into the bottom corner. Wonderful work from Sarri.
Right, they're facing Spurs this weekend in the League Cup before a 2-week break ahead of that massive clash at Charlton on November the 2nd. And if they keep this up, that game against Charlton is going to be one of the defining games of the whole season.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way already. Charlton top of the league, Blues just behind them, 1 point behind. Of course, a big clash with Spurs to come before that, but it's so exciting in the WSL too. Meanwhile, the men's team were on the road again last weekend away to Wrexham, of course.
Yeah, Will, Tommy and I were all there, and it was a great night in the Hollywood Valleys. Noisy, chaotic and tense right to the end. Definitely tense.
Yeah, big turnout from the travelling Bluenoses as well. Always great to see.
100%. The fans always make away days spectacular, and here's some proof.
What's the best away ground to park in?
The best away ground to park? Oh, I can tell you the worst.
Go on.
Charlton.
Why?
Because they stick you in this stupid little pen that the fans can't get to us, the players struggle to get off the coach, and there's literally that either side of the coach.
What's the worst city to drive in? Is that London as well?
Yeah, I hate London. Yeah. Hate going to Millwall. Anything south of the river, no.
Is there anything that you do like?
Driving away with 3 points.
Hey, keep right on.
Keep right on.
Hey, great. Favourite ever away day?
Oh, best away day. I haven't got one. Everyone's a great away day.
Every day's a blur for you.
Yeah, you know that, mate.
Why do you like away days, sir?
Why do we like it? You can't beat the atmosphere on away days, can you? It's absolutely mental. You know, you have your away fans, and then you have your home fans, but the away fans are just mental. Great time.
For an 8 p.m. kick-off, what time does an away day start for you?
Do you really want that on camera?
Yeah.
Oh, it could start at 2, 3, 4.
Yesterday.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, lovely.
No, it's great stuff.
And score prediction for tonight?
Looking at the team, I'm going for a 1-0.
Blues?
Yeah, all day long. All day long.
Keep right on.
Keep right on.
Why do you like away days, Sam?
The atmosphere is just different, and it's everything. You know, when you win away, it's nothing like it.
And what's been your favourite away day?
This season, or
No, maybe not this season, but in the past.
Albion when we were beating 3-2.
Scott Hogan hat-trick.
And then the Villa ones, the two All-Star and John. The first one, 2-0 Monday night, was quality.
That was a bit tasty in there, wasn't it?
Oh, it was unreal.
And score prediction for tonight?
We'll go 2-1, yeah, Blues.
Keep right on, son. Thank you, mate. Cheers, pal. Hello, mate. And what's your favourite things about away days?
I just love the free food, and I like being in the car for hours.
Nice, yeah. You were eating the chicken stew earlier, doing a few trumps. Was that to send a message out earlier?
Bosh.
See you, mate.
So, next up, Hull City at home. Then straight into a midweek game at Preston, 2 huge games in quick succession.
Yeah, it feels like it's one of those stretches that can define momentum, of course, something that Blues are desperate to pick up. And a couple of good results can suddenly mean that you're right back in the mix of things.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. And with the way that the squad is building, fresh legs, smart rotation, this could be the week that we see everything click, hopefully.
Now, from footballs to four balls, Tommy and Will headed to the links with Jay Stansfield and his brother Taylor, now an integral member of the kit room team, to strike a few balls and talk about life and what it's like to work together at the Blues.
Can't wait to see this.
Tom, where the hell have you brought me?
I've brought you to my favourite place.
Yeah.
So, you know I love my golf. I know you love your golf. We're here at the Warwickshire.
Nice.
But we're going to the Strike Shack,
Wow.
the driving range. Bit special.
Yeah.
I'm sick of hearing about how your handicap's coming down and mine's going up. We're actually going to see what it's all about today. But, Will, I've got a special surprise for you.
Really?
Got one of the players here.
Wow.
And they want to see how good you are.
Oh wow, bloody hell. It's just annoying we have to come to your place of work, because when I was at Morrison's Calf, nobody bothered to turn up, did they?
They never came to see you.
For a little flying start breakfast.
Jay and Taylor
Oh,
Stansfield.
here they are, the lads.
All right, boys, we're going to go Stansfields versus Numpties.
Who's that, me or you?
It's both of us.
Who's got you?
Match play, 9 holes, alternate holes for alternate player.
Yes, now we're rolling. Wasn't doing that in practice. Well played, mate. That's my mate, that is. Well played, partner.
Thanks, mate.
That's my mate Tommy over there, just doing it.
There he is.
Oh, yeah. And it's registered it. It didn't register any of the other ones.
Oh, Jesus. Nearly killed him. Sorry, mate.
No, it's perfect.
What are you laughing at? I'm in the trees.
Oh, yes.
Triple.
We can't do it. With that shot, it means that's it, really.
Congratulations, lads. Well played. We'll give you this hole.
Great game.
Good
Thank
game.
you.
Good game.
So you beat us 2-1. Should we keep it friendly and go and have a cup of coffee?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Talk about football?
Yep, definitely.
Good stuff, let's go. So boys, you've beaten us on the driving range. I hope you had a good time. We enjoyed it. I mean, I turned up.
I actually turned, me and Taylor were having a chat off air, and we actually turned up. Out the four of us here, I think it was me and Taylor that turned up.
Anyway, let's talk about the real sport, football. Tell me, really interested to know, how does it work when you're at work, brothers working together?
He don't even speak to me.
Is that right?
Yeah, straight past me all the time.
Nah, I think it was strange at the start, but I think the last few months we've got used to it, and as a player you always need some socks or some pants, so I'm always in there trying to get him to get me some new socks or some new kit. So yeah, it's good. We're both there to work at the end of the day, and I think we're both professional, and he gets on with his job and I get on with mine. So yeah, we've got a good connection in the at training ground, but also outside of training as well.
How have you found it though, like taking on that role and being part of the club in that position?
Yeah, I've loved it. Because I joined it mainly, like, I've always made a joke to Jay saying, like, anyway you get me in, I'd do anything to be in football. And then he called me one day, I was at my old job, and I was working, I was shoving from a
You have to do that now, Fib, don't
yeah,
you?
near enough, but from a what do you call them?
Shit.
A drain.
Yeah.
And I was doing it, put it into a carrot. Well, I was holding the bag actually, and he was shoving into there.
No.
And he messaged me saying, "Do you want to do a kit?" I said, "I'll do anything, please." So yeah, and then went on a few months, and then I joined and have loved it ever since.
Did you walk off site straight away?
Yeah.
See you later, lads. I'm off.
Carry your own bag, boys.
Yeah.
Was your first full season last season?
Nah, so I joined December of the year we got relegated.
So first full season
So
was League One.
First full season was last year, yeah.
Good start season.
So you're the good luck
I've
charm.
had it all really.
Yeah.
I've done it all
Straight
already.
What did you see from your side of it in your role when you're watching the lads do as well as they did? And you already mentioned Wembley and promotion.
You get that the lads of like they don't seem to have as much on their shoulders. Like sometimes you'll come in when things aren't going well, and normally like you don't get the nicest hello, or not in a bad way, but they're not very happy. But
even from your brother.
Yeah,
that could be the worst.
Yeah, he's the worst. If he hadn't scored, that's one thing about him, is his mood. Wherever he scores, no matter what he's doing, if he scores that week, he's gonna have a good week. If he doesn't score, it's a very tough week for him. And I think you'll admit
for me,
that.
for people at home.
Yeah, for us. But yeah,
I think as a forward, obviously you want to score goals. So like you said, there's obviously I see my game as a lot different to just scoring goals. I think I can bring a lot more to the team than putting the ball in the back of the net. And I think this season we've got a lot of quality that can also score the goals. So I think a different side of my game is going to come out this season than what it was last season.
I mean, it's obviously on the back of a fabulous season last year. Since you joined the club, it's been everything going forward. But you've seen the hard times in the Championship. What do you expect from the rest of this season? Because you've now had the experience of a couple of seasons in the Championship, League One at Exeter, now back in it with expectation. Now, I know that followed you around, but what's your hopes for this season?
I think, like you said, the expectation's very high for us as a club and us as a team, and also players as well. I think the club have attracted some very big players, so the expectation's high in that aspect of it. But as a team and as a club is obviously to finish as high as possible in the table. And I think, like you said, there's been some tough times in the Championship. In that season I was on loan was obviously a tough season. I think I had 5 managers, and trying to adapt to different style of play and different things is tough. And obviously we come out short in the end. But yeah, I think as a club we were really excited to get promoted in off the back of such a good season. So yeah, to shows that confidence into this season. And obviously it's one of the toughest leagues around, so we're not going to get too ahead of ourselves, and we'll use the confidence from last season in going into this season. But I think we'll be all right.
So thanks for coming to the Warwickshire and the Strike Shack, boys.
Thank you.
Definitely a rematch.
Yeah, well, hopefully me and Taylor get some better partners next time. So if you have a whip round the club, Taylor,
I'll find someone.
You live it. I actually live it.
Turn the cameras off. He's having it.
Thank you. And you can see the full interview with Jay. Please do go and watch it. It's brilliant on YouTube and on Blues Plus.
Great fun that, and also really good to see the family dynamic still going strong within the club. But it was fascinating and very important to hear Jay opening up about his mental health struggles last season and what he was going through and the pressure that he felt, especially being a striker, to take chances. Yeah,
of course, still a very hidden part of the game, but it's great to see a lot more players now shining a light on how the intensity, the desire to deliver for the fans, of course, as well, for the team, can put a real weight on their shoulders and be overwhelming and stressful at times. Jukey, you've already mentioned a bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think particularly as a striker, it's a position like no other. I think you can't hide behind anything. The numbers are the numbers. You know, someone can see in black and white whether you've scored a goal or not. Where there's other positions. You know, there's sort of subjectivity towards your performance. Whereas strikers are clearly rely on their goals as a means of evaluating their performance, and it's such a dependent position as well. So you can make a run 100 times, and if the ball hasn't come in the right place, or it's a slight misunderstanding between the through ball and things like that, so you're relying on your service as well as taking the responsibility to score goals as a striker yourself. And for Jay as well, I mean, the landscape has changed for young players now as well. There's less and less places to hide away from things we talked a bit earlier. I like to train hard, play hard, and go home and shut the door and think about my family and not have to think about football. Whereas the world is a little bit different, I think, now for younger players, where there's probably a pressure to be on social media, to be available to, and then what comes with that is that you see criticism more often, and that can seep into your psyche a little bit.
The job of scoring goals is the most difficult thing to do on the football pitch. How would you both speak to that?
Well, as strikers, we would absolutely concur with that.
Agreed.
Yeah, it is, but it's the pressure that Jukey talks about, Jay talking about it. Everything is according to your statistics as a striker, more than any other part of the pitch or position on the pitch. And I played in games where we might have won 3-0 and I'd be happy we'd won the game, but annoyed that I'd missed a chance. And it's how long it takes you to get over that, Jukey, isn't it? It's my kids knew that on a Saturday night, if we won and I'd scored, they could stay up and watch Casualty. That was
I know exactly what you're saying.
Saturday nights it was so different. Win, lose, and draw. It affects your mood, and it took me until the Sunday where I'd watch my son play on the morning before I got over what had happened the day before, and then you're preparing for the Tuesday game. So it's continuous, and it's really, really difficult. I really struggled with it as a player, and obviously after retirement you have different concerns, but I think for a striker it's so difficult, and Jay's such a young man to be taking that burden upon himself, but tells you exactly what his appetite for the game is like.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a great appetite for the game. You can see the way that he works, and it's so hard for the team. He's such an unselfish player, which is, it's rare to say for a centre forward, but he does so much work other than scoring the goals, which he does very well. But incredibly unselfish player, and such a good young role model for people. And the fact that he's opening up about that is so important, because everybody feels that. I think as a centre forward, at times you'd score a goal and it was a relief that for 3 or 4 games you might not get so much pressure, and it was elation, but it was also relief. I don't know if you were the same.
Exactly, it's a good way to describe it. It is essentially just relief of not having that 1, 2, 3, 4 games without a goal. When you're playing as the main striker, that's the pressure that you're under, because there's always somebody else to come into the team, and nobody wants to lose their place in it. So as a striker, you have to keep scoring goals.
This Saturday, Hull at home, first game after the international break, of course, and all that separates us in the league is I think they got 1 better goal difference, and that's it. How do you see the game shaping up, Tommy?
Yeah, I'd seen Hull a couple of weeks ago, and they were very good in the first half and really poor in the second half, and that also sums up the Championship for me. We've been at Wrexham, we were good in the first half, excellent in the second half. It's about how long can you pursue the top end of your game against the opposition, and disappointed perhaps to come away from Wrexham without winning the game, given how well we played in the second half, certainly, and with a disallowed goal. But that international break gives you a little bit more time to work on the training ground, and again back at St Andrews against a similar opposition, but I'm sure we'll play a very different style of football. So I think it'll be positive, front foot, and a great atmosphere again.
Yeah, I think the thing you'd be looking for is a fast start in games. I think so. When we've scored goals first, then it allows teams to have to come out and try and press the ball, and then spaces that open up in behind. Whereas I think we've conceded first in a lot of games, and then it becomes very, very difficult to break teams down when they're not as willing to sort of commit bodies forward. So I think particularly in the Championship, the first goal is incredibly key. So if we can start the game well, get the first goal, get the stadium rocking, then I'm expecting a positive result.
So the turnover of the squad has been big, particularly in the forward areas. Do you see, when you're in and around the training ground, how the new strikers and goal scorers are adapting to the football club?
Yeah, I think we talked about scoring goals being the hardest thing in the game, and I think with particularly new players, you're getting used to new characters, new personalities, different ways of playing, understanding. Tommy, he likes the ball down the side so he can finish early, or he wants a cross delivered first time, or a wide play, knowing that a winger is going to cut back and it's coming in early, or he might drop the shoulder a couple of times and you can time your run accordingly. So all of these things are kind of they're going to get better throughout the season, I think, as everybody starts to get to know each other's personalities, different character traits on the pitch. I think there's been so much turnaround that it was only natural that would take a little bit of time, and I'm, like I say, I'm sure that's going to get stronger throughout the season.
And your transition into the other side of the game is still fresh, but do you look at the players sometimes and still think, I'd have done that slightly differently, or I like the way that he does that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're probably the same now as well. You can't help but put yourself in someone's shoes and think.
I just know I can't move that.
I might be there as well, though. That's the thing. I think the game's faster than ever now, isn't it? That everybody seems rapid. But yeah, the game was speeding up as I was slowing down. So no, that's part of the job. I think you have to try and put yourself in their position and think about how you might have done things differently or what they do well, and that's all part and parcel of trying to get a picture of what the quality of the players that they can bring to the table.
And does the manager or any of the staff ask you to speak with any of the players and give them your insights into it?
I think that's something that I think possibly going forward might be something. At the minute, I think it was just a case of trying to get my feet under the table, getting used to my new role, getting used to what that week looks like. But I'm certainly available around the place for any sort of insight that I can bring to the table, that's for sure.
Well, that's all from us here at the pod at Epic. A huge thank you to Lukas Jutkiewicz for joining us. Of course, Tommy Mooney, as always, for the insight.
Yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week on Blue Rising.